Right. Finally got things to actually work. Hello there.
Hello, Gunmad.
Hello. I finally got things to work and people have finally uploaded things. So, we're going to get going quite quickly because I might try and... I can definitely do this. I might try and squeeze a second one in before I got people coming over for dinner tonight. It's unlikely, but we'll see. Now that my fucking job has been sorted out, because that's taken 2 hours as well. Right, enough of this. We're just going to get cracking. I'm not going to hang around because you guys have been waiting long enough for this. So, 14th we got Tom, 13th we got Yuri, 12th we have got BT. Darlington, finally. So, Darlington is making an appearance here in Tier 4 Blue for the first time. My old teammate from last season, rocking a very nice livery in the Honda NSX. Funny enough, this is the last track he drove last season as well. We then got Jezza in 10th, Radiator in 9th, Kanata in 8th. Sir Tracy's in 7th. You got Gigi, a new driver, I believe a new driver and a reserve driver here in Tier 4 Blue. Welcome to your first race this season. In 6th, we got Weapon in 5th. Our championship leader in 4th position, another championship contender in 3rd, and the other one. Hey, like I said, I've taken a lot of bribes from this driver here to make it wait because his teammate did very well, from what I hear. So if you can match it, we can do it. That's not a problem. Astro's in 3rd, Danger Mouse is in 2nd, and then we got Zab leading us away at the grid. We got 5 red lights. Let's get going, and away we go. Who's going to get a good start? Darlington in the background, I believe, in the NSX gets a great start. Tommy's also got a great start in that AMG, already passing Zab, who was in first, and now he's down into 3rd. Danger Mouse has got a good start in the Viper as well. Astro keeping in 4th position, considering the appalling start on that 911. GT's in 5th, Weapons in 6th. Who's a bit further back? Darlington's made a great start, so Tracy's dropped down a bit further too. I need to turn down this headset because I can't hear shit. As we come into the first big hard heavy braking zone, as Weapon slams himself into the inside, nearly takes out a few drivers in the background. Astro's now having a fight with Gigi as they're going to side by side, excuse me, through the dock section. There's a little bit of a squeeze to the wall, and out we come. Darlington's made a fantastic start, up into 6th position already. Weapons down into 7th, Kanata's in 8th, so Tracy's in 9th. Radiator's lost a position down in 10th, BT's in 11th. Yuri's made a good start, he's in 12th position. Tommy's made a position, and Jezza, what's happened to Jezza? Oh no. Oh, Jezza has had a horrible little error going into turn 1. Funny enough, I did so very similar, so I feel your pain, mate. We're going to move on and not give him too much shit. I did very similar in my race, and I had a horrible time. Right, into the tunnel for... Yeah, you were lucky you did miss that. You're very lucky to have missed that. Right, Astro taking us through the tunnel. He's got the 2 reserve drivers smelling the exhaust coming out of his pipes at the moment as we come up into the hairpin for the first time. GG's trying to go up the inside. He's going very, very deep up the inside. Astro's gone very deep on the entry, trying to get the switchback. It's opened the door to Darlington, who's going to get the position temporarily as we're now going side by side up this little slip road. Coming into the twisty section, it's going to be advantage to Darlington because he's up on the inside, but Astro's going to try and hold it around the outside. Darlington backs out of it. He holds the inside line though. Astro gives him space. Afternoon adds as Darlington and Astro have a little bit of contact going through the S section, so Astro goes through. He holds 5th position at the moment. GG back up into 4th. We're going to jump to the front 3. Zab has managed to get past Tommy. Tommy's now down into P3, back where he started. Danger Mouse is leading us over the start finish line to complete lap 1 of this 8-lap race. Tommy brakes a little bit early, prioritises the exit. He knows if he gets a good run, he could contest going into the container section. Danger's got a great run. The acceleration off that Jag coming out of turn 1 is going to be mighty. Tommy's given Zab a little bit of a push. He's going to try and push Zab into the back of Danger so he can potentially get these two fighting and try and get a 2 in 1 pass. But we're going to have to wait and see. GG's doing a great job. Astro's holding off at the moment the rest of the pack. Weapons now in 6th and Natus in 7th. Darlington's fallen down to 8th position, made a slight little error coming through this technical. I say technical, it's not technical, it's just turn right section. Yuri's up into 10th. We're going to have a little look and we're going to stay around the back just for a moment. Radiate gets a monster run as we come into the tunnel. BT, I think, hit the wall on the exit. Jez is certainly going to try and catch up. He's lost the back of the pack though, so he's lost the toe from everyone else. Let's go a bit further forward. Tommy going up the inside at the hairpin on Zab. Zab not really going to do too much. He can't fight it too much. It's kind of straight line speed dependent on this track, but then again it's a very MR favoured track because of all the very quick turns coming up in the high speed load corners that we're going through now. But the FRs can bring it back by using the straight line speed that they have. I think this is it's a BRZ. I've not seen a BRZ on track for a little while. It's great to see it coming out. A bit of variety on the circuit. It's not a bad thing. Astro's finally cleared the back of the mid pack, because so is Kanata. So both 911s are now on track and going to get hooked back up to each other. Essentially try and teamwork and push their way back forward. Weapon hits the wall as we come out of turn 1. So does Radiate. Radiate hits the wall quite hard, and this is going to impact him big time. Does he come back a bit further? No, he's not going to impact him that much. BT can't get past him unless these two bumped each other. So we're going to go a bit further forward. Tom tries to go up the inside. Of Darlington. Darlington holds the wider line, whereas Tom goes up the inside, holds the inside line, keeps the inside line. Darlington struggling a little bit in this Honda, excuse me. Just trying to carry a little bit too much speed, understeering off into the corner. It's a little bit best maybe just to hold off at just that fraction and get the exit that you need. Now let's go forward. Let's jump on board with Yuri, who we're going to be calling Meat for the rest of this race, because he was meant to say Meat instead of it, and in the end he ended up saying Meat to me, so he's going to be called Meat for the remainder of this race. And up goes the inside, goes Meat, so Tracy falls down. Meat goes up into 8th position. Weapons in 7th. This is going to... Weapons doing quite well in that Supra, considering I didn't think the Supra would actually be that viable this season, but he's doing very well in it. Yeah, just a bit of background context, hence if you're wondering why a driver is going to be called Meat for the rest of the race, now you know why. So GG has caught up to the back of the top group. Let's jump on board with the driver. Oh no, there's big contact coming into turn 1. I think there's a big ping pong ball effect, as GG might have just come in a bit too hot and not braked maybe with the others. Zab keeps it all together though, very well held. They lost a little bit of time to the front runners. Not much is going to be changing up here for the time being. We'll stay with these guys just for a little bit as GG gets the fastest lap of the race at the moment. Danger doing a fantastic job in the Jaguar. Doing his absolute best, hold the pace. It's got great drive and great acceleration, so he's going to be trying to use that coming out of a lot of these corners, especially the slow speed stuff like the one coming up. This might give him a little bit of a break from Tommy, who's just behind, who is in the slipstream. He's dominating. I won't say he's dominating. He's got a very, very strong performance over the past several rounds. As here comes Tommy. Tommy's got a great run. He's used the slipstream from Danger all the way down this back straight. He's going to hold the inside line. Danger doesn't really try and defend this at all. He gets a little bit wide, gets out onto the marble, lights up the rear, loses a little bit of traction, so through goes Tommy, up into the lead. Danger's lead has now ended on halfway around lap 4. He's going to not give up though, he's going to give it another crack. I think of trying to get back up forward, it's possible. Zab and Gigi still holding their own positions. Astro's now starting to catch up to the back of this group, so's Kanata. Let's check through the rest of the grid. Tom holds the top 10 at the moment, holds off the top 10. He's going to get reverse pole if things stay the way they are. Radiates in the 11th, seems to be attracted to the walls at the moment. BT's attracted to walls, as so is Darlington. Darlington now gets past BT, having hit the wall at the end of this. Jez is slowly catching up to the back of these guys. These guys keep hitting walls and fighting with each other. He's definitely going to catch up to the back of the pack. Let's go back to the front, shall we? We're definitely going to go back to the front now. Let's see what happens. Let's jump on board from Zab's point of view. So Tommy's got a good run, but Danger's got an even better run. Danger's giving Tommy a bit of a push as they both hit the brakes very, very hard. Zab comes in very, very late on the brakes, hits Danger. Danger's now being shuffled and toppled around. Gigi's going to take the most out of this, and he's going to take 2 positions and go up into 2nd position. Zab's dropped down to 4th, let Danger back through. So, Gigi up into 2nd, just about to break the toe I think, but here comes Zab. Zab's going to give Danger a bit of a push. This is going to bring the toe back to the Jaguar. And just in time as well, we're coming up to the top ends of some of these cars. And there's the toe, there you can see it. The speed is really coming to the back of this Jaguar now. He could give it a go. He is going to give it a go. He is a little bit later on the brakes. He gets alongside Gigi. Gigi's going to try and keep the momentum. And just behind is Astro going up the inside of Zab. Zab's now dropping down into 5th position. So whilst these guys all fight for 2nd, Tommy's just going to drive on out of it. Let's check on the rest of the pack. Meat has dropped down into 9th position. He's now being threatened by Tom, who's in the GTR on his inside. As we come into the twisty section, now Meat's got the inside, now the outside. Can Tom manage to go through as someone scrapes a wall just ahead of them? So Meat drops down into 10th position. Tom, is going up into 9th position. As further up ahead, Weapon's going to go alongside. Let me get a good camera angle for this. Well, something's happened to Danger as well. Oh dear. Whoa. Okay, we're going to stay back here then. So Danger gets a little bit of a nudge from Astro, which is offsetting completely. Gets another nudge and gets absolutely slammed into the wall. Has a huge tank slapper as we come into the final corner. Zab then makes contact with the wall. Here comes Kanata trying to capitalise as well, as Danger's trying to get past Zab, who's hit the wall in the final corner. We're now going to come 3 wide as we're going to go round into turn 1. Who's going to be late on the brakes? Who's going to brake early? We're all braking about the same time. That's okay. So Danger, who was leading this race 2 laps ago, now finds himself all the way down in 7th position, having a little bit of argy-bargy with everyone else. Now, the straight line speed of this Supra, is it still as mighty as it used to be? The answer to that question is no. Not really. It's not really that much better than the Porsche. Yeah, it's... I wouldn't say you're free from it, Astro. I'd say you might have maybe started that. I wouldn't say you caused it, though. I think it is just... it's too tight. And trying to go too wide there is not possible. So Kanata up into 5th. Zab's in 4th. Astro's in 3rd. Gigi's in 2nd, trying to chase down Tommy, who's in the lead at the moment. But poor Danger, all the way down into 7th. Oh, he's got a good run on Weapon. We'll stay here for a moment and we'll check on the rest of the pack. Weapon's got a good load of speed on him. He's managed to close that gap right back up to Kanata. Who hit the wall? I mean, if it wasn't reported, it wasn't reported. I think, to be honest, so much that'd be the wall hit. So Tracy gives Tom a very, very healthy, happy squeeze into the wall. Not quite a nice, friendly squeeze, as there's still a little bit of contact as we come up the slip road. Tom's now up into 8th position, so Tracy's down into 9th position. What can Meat do? What's Meat got up his sleeve for today? He's gotten very, very close to Sir Tracy. Sir Tracy's struggling through these sections of corners. Going to lose a little bit of extra momentum now as he scrapes the wall on the exit. Tom's checked out. Here comes Meat. Meat goes to the left. He's going to hold the inside line for this little kink and then hold the inside line again for turn 1. He brakes a little bit later, throws it into the corner, gets the momentum, doesn't kiss the wall on the exit, which is really, really good for him. Now it's going to be a drag race as we're going to come down the hill, around this little kink to the left again. The Lexus has got a good drag initially, but now it's evening out. Now the AMG is going to start pulling away and hard on the brakes as we come to the triple right-hander of this cargo section. Meat's got the inside line, he's going to hold it nice and tight. Sir Tracy goes a little bit wide, it's Meat's corner, Meat's going to start gently pulling away. Now let's go back a little bit further. Let's check on the back of the pack before we go forward. Grady, Darlington and BT all together, still having a lower little battle. Jezza's closing in. 58.3, 59.2. So yeah, these guys are still fighting it out. Jezza is going to start closing in on him. He might not get close enough before the final lap though, but he might be close potentially to collect a scrap or two. We're going to stay here. Let's see what Darlington can do. Darlington in the slipstream, well, was in the slipstream, excuse me. Now in the slipstream of Radiate just ahead of him. Whilst Darlington he backs out of it. Surprise. Okay. I thought you might have had a little look up the inside. He backs out of it, does a big lift, as there's a little bit of lag going through that corner, lights up the rear end, has a little bit of a tank slapper, gets it back under check and control. BT doesn't capitalise either. Interesting. So let's go further forward. Tommy comes out the final corner, start his last lap, and here comes Gigi. Gigi's now very much in the slipstream of Tommy just ahead, so he's got to have a lap in his mirrors. He's got effectively 2 minutes to hold off this lead. Tommy defends to the inside, Gigi out to the outside. Gigi tries to get the switch back, tries to get the power down nice and early, but that AMG is quite powerful coming out the corner. Tommy gets it absolutely spot on, holds the inside line, defending his position perfectly and beautifully. He gets the line right, he goes a little deep though, through 2 and 3, gets it squared off though, gets it nice, cut, denies GG the switch back as we're going to go a bit further back, as Darlington has been passed by BT. Now BT's up into 12th, Jez is going to start getting involved too, but we're going to stay up here. Astro still in 3rd, Zab in 4th, Canastas in 5th, that's the top 5 at the moment. Here's where Tommy's going to start opening up the gap just a little bit until about now. GG should really try and stay in that slipstream as much as long as possible, because he could have really closed that gap through the tunnel, and he could have been a lot closer, potentially even looked at an attack coming into the hairpin, as he has a bit of a moment coming into this hairpin. Lights up the rear, he's going to lose a little bit of time, stays in first just a bit too long, so this is going to be Tommy's race for the win now, unless Tommy has a colossal fuck up going through the S section. This is Tommy's to lose. The driver who started P3, who's very much in contention for this championship. I know it got settled the other night, shush, but it's very much in contention for the championship at this point. Gigi's got a great run through the S section, but it's not going to be enough. Tommy comes over the start finish line to take victory here at the sprint race. Gigi's in 2nd, Astro's in 3rd, Sab's in 4th, Kanata is a great performance in 6th, in 5th, excuse me. Danger's very unlucky in 6th, Weapons in 7th, Tommy for a good race in 8th, Meat finishes in 9th, so Tracy rounds off the top 10 and gets reverse pole. Darlington for 11th, Radiate in 12th, BT in 13th, and Jezza bringing up the rear, not really being able to recover after that lap 1 mistake in 14th. There we go, feature. So, strategy here. Strategy here, you can do one of two things. You can either do the one stop. Is it medium soft or is it hard medium? Hard medium is the one stop. Or, if you're feeling bold, you're feeling brave, and if you start near the front, maybe the top two, maybe pushing top three, you could do the two stop, the medium soft soft. Last season, when I had an atrocious sprint race, I managed to get first for the feature, and I did the medium soft soft and just disappeared. Didn't get past really at all, apart from ads who passed me on my second stint. Unless you're Astro, who hacks the game and can do a one-stop MS. Funny enough, Astro, we're talking about you. So, for the people who actually drive real cars, it'd probably be a medium, hard medium, unless you're going to do... That was a good race. I enjoyed that. You played it very, very well. So, unless you drive real cars, like Kanata and everyone else, then you can do it. You could do a hard medium.
Tokyo last season.
I can't remember. Did you and I race together? I can't remember. Anyway, whilst we're reminiscing on last season at Tokyo, we're going to go through and have a little look through the grid. Weapons and softs.
The hards were decent.
Yeah, the hards were pretty good actually. Danger's on the hard. So Danger's committing to the one stop. He's going to struggle, I think, a little bit because everybody else.
Crying face, we were in the same tire, man.
Hang on, we're missing someone from the top 10. Ah, Tom. Where's Tom? Why is Tom starting from the back? Can someone explain? Because Tom finished about here. Ah, quali ban. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. So, let's go through and actually stop messing around and talking about, and actually start talking race, and then we can start talking about other things too. So, weapons on softs, top two are on mediums. So, then Danger's on the hards. Danger's going to get swamped by everyone else just behind him because the next hard driver is Tommy in 9th position. Darlington's on the hards in 10th. And you got BT, Jezza, D-dubs, and they're on the medium. So there's a mixture of tyres here. I'm expecting the hards to struggle a bit. They're not really going to come into their own until about I think it's about lap 7 or 8. Anyway, let's get going. So, I'm expecting some of the medium runs to do a two-stop, or unless you're an absolute menace on saving tyres, you could do the one-stop. The Jag definitely can't do a one-stop medium soft here. It's just the tyre wear is just too high. Unless you did the two-stop. Now, Kanata's got a great run on Danger. Danger's in 4th position at the moment. A bit further back, Darlington and the Radiator having their own little battle. Kanata pulls out to into the inside, goes very late on the brakes. Danger's now going to try and get the switch back. He gets his nose up the inside. The Weapons challenging Meat for 2nd position. So, ooh, there goes a lovely power slide to show off from Danger there. As he's now in 5th position, drops down behind Kanata, who's in 4th. Now, the next 3 drivers behind him are all on the mediums. So, let's see what happens as we're coming into the tunnel for the first time. Kanata's already up the ass of the Weapon as well. So we've got 2 different fights to keep an eye on. We're going to jump aboard with Kanata first. Weapon gets a great tow as he fires it up the inside. Is he going to hit the brakes on time? No, he's not. He's not going to hit the brakes on time at all. Barges his way past Sir Tracy. So Tracy now switches out to the right. Weapon falls back. Meat is going to take 1st position. After all that cluster, Kanata's going to go up into 2nd. Weapon's going to fall back behind Sir Tracy. He's now down into 3rd. Zab's in 4th. Zab's in 5th. Sorry. And we're going to stay up here as Sir Tracy barges his way back past the Weapon. These guys are having a proper old scrap. There's Weapon now sends it out of the inside, so Tracy turns into him, so Tracy now hits the wall, falls back down. These guys squabbling so much, it's allowed, look at the gap these two have. Yuri and Kanata now having a fight going into turn 1. I'm not even had a chance to look at the rest of the grid. This has been too much going on up here. Kanata holds the outside line, Yuri defends the inside, gets a good run coming out the first corner as well, so this is going to save him a little bit. Weapons in third, somehow. Zab's in fourth, Astro's in fifth, GG's in sixth, so Tracy's all the way down into seventh. Tommy's now up into 8th. He's struggling to get through past these cars, but he is on the hard tyres. Bear that in mind. There goes Danger, very late on the brakes as he makes a little bit of contact with Sir Tracy. So Tracy holds it. Danger backs out, doesn't get past, doesn't want to go past either. Tommy's hung out wide, has a power slide of himself as both these two hard runners are trying to show off coming out of the dock section. Who gets a good run. The Jag's got great acceleration, but Tommy's got a great run. Now, what's the speed difference between these two? Tommy's on the outside, he backs off wisely, so not good idea, not a wise idea to make a fight on the second lap of the race. It's still a very long way to go. Radiates in 10th, BT's in 11th, D-Dubs is up to 12th position, the other McLaren driver. Tom's up into 13th, Jez is in 14th, and Darlington's way down the back in 15th at the moment. Struggling to get the car to rotate from the looks of things as well. Tom and Jez are side by side. Jez are steady. We're going to go back and have a little look at that. Yeah, Tom just goes very, very deep. Jez gets the braking point absolutely smack on perfect. Flies it out the corner. I don't think he's quite aware that Tom's there. Tom pushes Jezza over to try and give him some room. Tom's got a slightly better run as we come up the slip road though. Jezza gives Tom plenty of space. Tom gives Jezza plenty of space. Jezza unable to quite keep the momentum up at the moment as there's a smash in the background. We're going to go back forward as Meat. What have you done? Okay, so this is something I missed. Sorry, I've had to go back almost a whole lap. So Kanata sends it up the inside. Kanata's going to take over the lead as we come through turns 2 and 3. So Meat's dropped down into second position. Still a great spot for him. That's not a great spot to be though, into the wall. So this is going to allow Kanata to check out proper big time and potentially even break the slipstream as well. It's going to be Meat's job to try and... That's not going to help you either. It was down to Meat to try and get a toe in the slipstream. That's now, the job's now fallen to the Weapon. Weapon's now on soft tyres ahead of Meat. He's going to try and unleash the pace of the soft tyres. Meat gets a push by Zab. He's now going to probably try and push the back of Weapon, or is he going to fight for position? He's just a little left, a little bit unsettled. Astro very late on the brakes, tries to go around the outside of Zab. Now switches back, gets the inside. Gets the drive as well. So up goes Astro. Astro up into P4. So a great start from him. So what did happen to you then? It's not too bad of a lap so far. You didn't even hit the wall. So how come you feel... Okay. We'll just carry on from here. Now, so Tracy's on their own at the moment in 7th position. A little bit of no man's land between both groups. Not a bad place to be. Danger in 8th position. Radiates in 9th. Tom is really struggling here on these hards. Getting stuck in all these fights. He's back to where he started pretty much. He has got a good run. He's got a very good run. Gives Radiate a little bit of a push. This is going to push Radiate into the back of Danger. Tommy's got to be a little bit careful here. Brakes just before the other two. Radiate tries to go around the outside. Danger holds the inside line. Hits his apex and lights perfectly. Now here comes Tommy as Radiate's been hung out to dry, gone about too wide for a bit too long. Tommy goes through. Here comes BT as well. BT's got a good run. He's going to try and contest around the outside of Tommy. Tommy's going to hold the inside line. BT gets a nicer second half of this corner. He's going to get a better run down the straight. He'd actually be better and wiser to sit in the slipstream of Tommy and give Tommy a push up to the back of Danger here, because going side by side through this bit is not very wise, as both these two have to lift, and this is going to cause everyone else behind them to scoop together and catch up. D-Dubs is now going to get involved, and Jez is just behind too. Oh, Jez has to have a huge lift, as these guys are all fighting and tussling for position. Tommy goes up into 9th. BT's falling down into 11th. D-Dubs goes very late and very deep on the brakes, nearly goes into the side of Tommy. Careful, Jezzy, you nearly squeezed. That's the second driver you nearly squeezed out. D-Dubs up into 10th, BT in 11th. He's trying to squeeze Jezza out. Jezza has to back out of it. Jezza being very, very smooth. Trying to prolong the life of his tyres as there's contact ahead of him. BT hits the back of D-Dubs. D-Dubs goes into the wall. BT loses momentum. Through goes Jezza. Radiate's going to go through as well. So we're now 2 by 2 coming down the main straight. D-Dubs is going to lose out as well. Oh, never mind. He's now not going to. He's going to go side by. No, we're not going to side by side into turn 1. D-Dubs gets a little bit of a better run. No, he doesn't. He's going to start into the slipstream. Radiate gets a good run, but BT's in the slipstream of the two drivers just ahead of him, so he's going to be pulled forward. We're going to come back to the front in a minute because I see Weapons just taken over for the lead over Kanata. No, they didn't enter around there and fight. We're going to go and have a little look at them. So Weapon with his soft tyres, he's managed to chase down Kanata. Managed to get up ahead. Kanata's going to give him a little push. Yuri's defending from Astro, so both Porsches on the move at the moment. Astro goes through for third. Kanata's going to try and go up the inside of Weapon. Kanata's going to hold the inside, keeps a nice tidy line. Doesn't go wide, manages to track limits absolutely beautifully. Weapons down into second. Astro's up to third. Meat is in fourth position. And Gigi's just behind, watching all these guys having their own little fight. We're going to go back to where we were though. We're going to keep an eye on this group. Not much has changed, apart from Tom's now up into 13th. He's got a half-second penalty, so he breached track limits somewhere. His teammate Radiate's just behind him. I think these two now need to be communicating and talking and trying to push their way up on these back straights. On the long straights like this and after turn 1, push each other down them. Close up to the back, pass the car, then do it again. Just keep passing and pushing their way forward. Going a bit further, Jezza and D-Dubs close together. And so's BT actually. We're going to jump on board with BT. BT very, very late on the brakes, much more confident on the brakes than D-Dubs is, but D-Dubs holds the inside line. BT feeds the gas nicely. He gets a good drive out the corner, so through goes BT around the outside. That was a great move done by BT. Up into 11th position. D-Dubs drops down to 12th. We're going to go back near the front. As Astro... Okay, I've missed something. Oh dear. That's not good. Did he just break a bit? Oh, Kanata goes wide. That's a hot lap in the line. Kanata, that's not a racing line. Oh dear. Weapon lights up the rear of that Supra a bit too much. Gigi's up into third. Meets into fourth. Weapon falls down to fifth. So it's a Porsche 1-2 at the moment. Porsche's doing fantastically in this feature race so far. We are on lap 421 though. Still a long way to go. Take a drink whilst I can, because you guys are causing more chaos than I thought was possible. Danger, and Lowman's landed on his own in 8th. Tommy's managed to pulling a little bit of a gap to Jezza. Mind you, he's losing a bit of time to Jezza. Let's see what lap it was like this though. 59.9, 59.8. So Jezza's still pulling in to Tommy. Let's go through. Danger's on his own. It's kind of where he needs to be. He needs to be on his own at the moment, just focus on his own race. He's fuel saving a bit as well. He's going to try and make this one stop work. A bit further ahead. Zab goes up the inside of Weapon. So Tracy's going to try and go up the inside of the Weapon as well. These two have had a bit of history already in this race, so I hope it's kept clean. I think it looks pretty clean to me. Now, Weapon's tyres are very much falling off the pace at the moment. There's a couple of flashes from Weapon. He's quite clearly not very happy. So, is the Weapon going to stop this lap, or is he going to go one more? Because at the moment he's lapping slower, 2 seconds slower than the hard tyre behind him, and again 2 seconds slower than the other hard tyre behind him. So I think it's time for the softs to come off and either commit to a 2-stop. No, he's going to go and do one more. I think he should have come in, put a fresh set of softs on, get some clean air, and just put some good solid laps in. Let's go back a couple of cars. Jez has now got to the back of Tommy. BT's staying at the back. D-Tubs is just behind, and then it goes Tom, Radiate, and Darlington all near the back, all having their own little battle at the back of the track. Gigi's up into second position. Gigi's doing very, very well in this BRZ. Astro's in third, out in the moment having to defend from Meat, who's in fourth. The two Dutchmen on track together. Are they going to work together, or are they going to be rivals? Let's see. Let's see which one can harvest their inner Verstappen and make an absolute either monumental move or controversial move. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Yuri's pumping Astro at the moment. He backs off. Now him backing off has closed Zab in as well. I understand why he backs off. Maybe he could have had a little go at Astro through here. But might be right, just might have been a little bit more wise just to back off. Let Astro and Gigi have a little bit of a fight, and him keep the slipstream. Because then he can get a really big tow as we come down into the tunnel. Now, let's just stay on board with Weapon for a minute. No, we're not. We're going to come back to Astro. Astro trying to go running outside of Gigi. Gigi holding the inside line at the moment. Gigi gets a good line through. Yuri stays with him. Is that Weapon? Weapon is coming in. So, just behind Tommy is Jezza at the moment. D-Dubs and B... Excuse me, Z-Dubs and BT having their own little battle for 10th position. Weapon is putting fuel in. He comes out on the mediums. Does he think he can make the mediums last? Okay. We'll have to wait and see. Kanata in control of this race at the moment. Gigi's just behind in the Subaru, and Astro's just behind him in the other Porsche. Porsche 1-3 at the moment. Great for the Porsches. Meat is in fourth. Playing his race smartly, I think. Being in the slipstream, getting good speed down the straights, fuel saving between them as well, and trying to save a bit of fuel. It's not a bad play from him. Surge Racing's in sixth. His teammate Zab's just ahead. They are identical in fuel and tyre wear as well. So these guys are probably going to be doing the same strategy too. Just behind is Danger, who's got really good tyres for lap 7. This is sort of, it's going to be now about when the hard tyres are going to start to come into their play and maybe be slightly quicker than the mediums ahead. Yuri closing in on the back of Astro. Astro having another look at the hairpin. Tommy's still leading this group. Jez is getting very close, and BT's going to get very close too. D-Dubs is missing the corner, doesn't know how to turn the steering wheel. From the looks of things, Jez gets a good run. Does get a great run. He's going to go and look, try and get past Tommy. Tommy's on the left, Jez is on the right. Jezza gets through, takes the inside line up into 8th position. BT's now going to try and follow him through. Tommy's really struggling on these hards. He's not really making up much time at all. His championship rivals are 1st and 3rd at the moment. So Tommy might come back in the second part of this race. He might be able to come in a little bit earlier, get off those hards. I reckon these mediums can probably do about 10. I reckon these mediums can do about 11 laps from memory. And I think these guys, if they're going to stop, they're going to want to stop about lap 9 or 10. Unless you want the tyre advantage at the end, especially if you're going to fight drivers on softs. You might look at stopping at 10 or 11. Ooh, D-Dubs gets squeezed by BT. BT lifts off a little bit as we come into the corner. So the back few cars have all started to spread themselves out. Weapon is at the back at the moment. He is the only one that has stopped so far. Here comes this big group of cars. So D-Dubs not... D-Dubs can't get his braking point right at the moment. That's not going to help him at all. Coming in with way too much speed. We're going to stay with BT for just a moment. Now, for those of you who have recently joined us, welcome. We are not coming up to the halfway point in this race. We've got the championship contender / leader in 9th position at the moment, and his 2 rivals in 1st and 3rd. So our championship leader has got to start making some moves soon. He's got to start showing a little bit more pace on those hards. I get he's struggling. Just about misses the wall. Coming out of turn 1. Let's see what happens as we come down the main straight. Tommy giving Jezza a big old push coming down this back straight, trying to close that gap up to Danger Mouse, who's in P7. I think BT's understanding the game that we're playing and might start trying to help them as well. Close that gap up, just seal it in a little bit more. We're going to go and check on the cars near the front. Danger starting to catch up to the back of Sir Tracy. The mediums are starting to drop off now, so this is where the hards are going to really start showing some pace. Danger setting very consistent times. I'm just looking at his lap times. It's very, very consistent. Now Zab's just ahead. His tyre life's exactly the same as Yuri. Excuse me. Meat has got himself a half-second penalty. Probably for track limits. He should know better by now. He's been his iRacing days should have taught him a little bit better. So this half second, is it how much his time is going to cost? It's probably going to cost him a position to Zab. Zab gets a clean exit, so he's definitely going to lose a position to Zab. There goes the time penalty. Here comes Zab with the overspeed. As we change cameras eventually. Yep, there goes Meat, just tucked in behind. He's in P5 at the moment. Starting to lose contact with Astro just ahead in P3. Kanata now down into P2, and Gigi's gone up into 1st. So we have a new race leader, and it is one of the reserve drivers. Kanata's had a big mistake. When did this happen? Because the time difference on that last lap was quite significant. So Gigi up the inside, very, very cleanly done, very nicely done. Oh, that's what's caused a bit of time loss. So can I have to try to get on the power, just ask a little bit too much from the car. We've got about here. So lap 10, I'm expecting some of these drivers to start looking at coming in, especially if they're on hards, to come onto the mediums. So the first hard run up, it doesn't scrape the wall. I'm looking at coming in, it's probably danger. Because caught right up to the back of Sir Tracy now. Then a massive gap behind to Jezza, Tommy and BT. Darlington's had a horrible lap. He's now been caught up by Weapon. Weapon and Darlington are having a little battle for 15th. Let's go back to the front. Now, GG uses a lot of fuel. He's coming into the pit lane early, so he's coming in on the end of lap 1. Kanata's going to stay out. Astro's staying out. Yuri's coming in. He's coming in. So Tracy, very, very, very late on the brakes. Nearly goes into the pit lane themselves, and the pit wall now, as a matter of fact. Danger's staying out, so Danger's going to try and maybe overcut a couple of people. Darlington stays out, and obviously so does Weapon. So where does everyone get brought out? Yuri's the first driver out, and he's out on the softs. So Yuri potentially looking at committing to the 2-stop here. Gigi's out on the softs as well, full tank of fuel. So maybe this BRZ's either very thirsty or Gigi's got a very thirsty right foot. D-Dub's out on the softs and Tommy's out on the mediums. So, different strategies now starting to come out into play. Meet in the slipstream of Darlington. Darlington to the left. Meet to the right. Does Meet have a good enough run? No, he doesn't. So he's going to back off. Focus on the exit. Not graze the wall on the inside. Which has just cost him a little bit of time. This isn't what Meat would have wanted. Meat would have wanted a bit more of a cleaner track ahead of him. He's come out critically, he's come out ahead of Weapon as well. So Meat throws it to the inside, tries to get Darlington offline. Darlington brakes nicely, keeps the car nicely positioned, holds the line. It's going to be softs versus hards, so the pace difference is there. Here's a good run, here's a very, very good run. Darlington into the wall on the outside, through goes Meat around the outside, going to stick it around the outside, kiss the apex nicely. And for good measure, scrape the wall on the exit. Swings to the right to break the toe. Darlington doesn't have the good run coming into the tunnel either. Through goes Weapon. In to the pits comes out. BT's going to come into the pits as well. So I'm just going to go back and understand what happened just then. Oh, BT just clips that orange barrier. Hang on, let's have a look at there. It is. BT just clips that barrier. Maybe just a little bit of a lack of attention. I'm not quite sure. Darlington comes in. This is going to release a few drivers. So Tracy comes out, is committing to the 2-stop. So just tyres for Sir Tracy, no fuel. Oh. Hang on a minute. Okay, was that reported? Because that's a little cheeky. I could see someone not being very happy about that. Okay. So, let's go.
Any reports from Tokyo?
Okay. Unless these two may have had a few words afterwards, or maybe nothing's been said of it. That's a little cheeky. Squeezing a driver out. Yeah, I don't know. But I think that's a little cheeky. I feel that's a little cheeky, but as I've said before many times, and I'm going to keep saying it, I'm not Stuart, it's not down to me to decide on things like this. I just think that might have been a little bit cheeky from them. Now, Tom's in 5th position, yet to stop. Jez is in 4th position, yet to stop. I'm expecting these two in very soon. Tom is on the hards. Zab's on the soft, yet he's got to stop again for softs and fuel. Let's go a bit further ahead. Danger's doing very well on his hard tyres. Got to stop for this lap for fuel. The two Porsches can go again. They are going to go, well, one's going to go again. They're both going to go again. So these guys doing very, very well in their fuel and tyres. Got a huge gap to Danger, who's in P3 at the moment. Danger's coming in. Jez is going to go one more lap. Now, if I was in Jez's point of view, I'd probably want to come in this lap. But then again, it depends what his strategy is. Tom's going to stay out. He's under some pressure at the moment from Zab, who is on much softer set of tyres. Zab's struggling to get past. It's very tricky to pass at this circuit. You can see the pace difference in the corners here through this section. Zab getting really, really close. Tom struggling to get this car to turn. But Tom defending nicely, defending very, very well. Just making Zab's job very, very hard. Burning some of his tyres off as well and losing a lot of pace. Let's see, as we come out of turn 1, let's see what we can do. Zab has got a good run, but he's on the left-hand side of the circuit at the moment. Tom's to the right. Tom's got to brake a little bit earlier. Oh, Tom will have the inside. If he can get this car to stop, he just about gets the car to stop. There's a little bit of contact around the outside. Zab squeezed very much to the left-hand side, but Tom gives him just enough space, and Tom keeps the position, gets back up into 4th position. So a great fight at the moment from these two. Tom placing this car absolutely perfectly. He comes across, tries to squeeze Zab out as much as possible. But Zab's there. He's now going to be, who's going to be brave and commit? There's just a little bit of contact. That's why you don't go side by side through there, because if you don't get it all lined up right, contact happens and damage to Tom. Astro's in. Kanata's going to stay out, so the Porsches are going to do a split strategy here. There's no damage to Zab, but there's a bit of damage here to Tom. Is he going to come in? He is going to come in. So, Jessa comes in too. So, Kanata, our race leader, and has been for a little while now, way down the road. Here's Kanata coming out the final corner. Here's Zab just coming up over the slip road.
Should have stayed out for one more pensive face.
It depends. If you can get those softs to last the length, then you could undercut to potentially try and pass your teammate. I think it all depends on your position. So where did you come out? You came out in 7th. You're on the softs. You are in clean air though. So it means you can just focus and get down to your race now. You can try and prolong the soft tyres. So you've got 8 laps to do on them. That is a bit of an ask, I think. Let's go a bit further forward. Let's have a little look around. So Tracy, in the wheel tracks of Yuri. Yuri has got the fuel for the end. And has got to do one more stop, I think, at least 4 tyres. Whereas Sir Tracy's got to stop and put fuel in. Zab's in 2nd. He's got to stop and put fuel in as well. So both Lexus drivers are doing the same strategy. So they're going to be pushing hard and hell for leather this lap. Weapon probably needs to come in again. He needs a bit of fuel for... I think he might need a bit of fuel, and also I think he might need some tyres too. I don't think these tyres can do 7 laps from the looks of them. He has been going for a little while though. Now GG's in 6th position, does need tyres. Astro looks like he could be in contention for the win here. His teammates just come in, he's run out of fuel literally just as he's coming in, so Kanata's timed that to perfection. D-Dubs needs to come in. I think a lot of people are committing to the 2-stop here. Tommy, I think, is the only one doing the 1-stop, and he's in 10th at the moment, ahead of Danger, who's the other driver doing the 1-stop. So it'll be interesting to see where these two come out compared to everybody else. So out comes Kanata, just behind his teammates. So the undercut from Astro has worked beautifully. He has caught up to the back of GG. He's going to go to have a little look up the inside as we go into the S section and stay on board with him. Now bear in mind, compared to the Porsches, everyone else ahead of them has to stop again. Has to. For fuel or for tyres. So it's effectively, Astro is net P1. And any extra cars he can pass will be extra damage to his... As Astro gets a great run, goes around the outside, swoops around the outside, slams the door very firmly shut in Gigi's face. Biazza is going to try and fight back as we're now coming down the second straight. He's going to try and get a good run. Astro holds the right hand side, holds the inside. GG a bit later on the brakes. He's going to try and drive around the outside. Can he hold it? He's holding it. He's trying to hold it as there's a little bit of a slide. That might be a half-second penalty though. Astro holds the inside line beautifully. They're both giving each other just enough space. Gigi's pushing on very hard and somehow gets away with not getting a penalty. Now he clips the wall. That's going to cost him big time to Kanata, who's just behind him. Kanata's got the overspeed completely alongside now. Now starting to get ahead. As we flick to the right. Kanata goes through. Nope. Very, very efficiently and quickly in very, very German fashion of being efficient. So Gigi now falls down to 7th position. We're going to go a bit further forward. Who's that in the pits? Gigi's coming into the pits. Okay. So Tracy's still ahead of Yuri at the moment. Zab a bit further down the road. We're going to have a little look around. D-Dubs and BT are glued together again. BT doesn't look for a little move. D-Dubs holds the arm cove barrier like he's attached to it by a piece of string. Both of these drivers nailing all their marks and apexes beautifully at the moment. No hint or sound of collision with the barrier either. So we're going to stay with BT. Does he get a good enough run to make a pass? D-Dubs to the left, BT on the right. It's going to be advantage to D-Dubs, who has got the inside. D-Dubs holds the inside. Is he going to have the traction and the power coming out of the corner? No, it's not. That's going to belong to BT. So BT is now going to go straight past, straight alongside. D-Dubs' tyres are looking very, very much worse for wear in second hand. In the slipstream now, though. Does a couple of lifts. He wants to stay behind. Interesting. He could have potentially looked at getting a pass there. Now, both the Porsches have got up to the back of Meat. What can Meat do against two Porsches? As you can see, Meat has identified as a Porsche GT3R. Not the RS, just a GT3R. He's not, apparently he doesn't think he's good enough for the RS. So, Astro, very much close enough for Yuri. Are we going to go side by side through here? We are going to go side by side through here. Meat hits the wall. Both Porsches go straight through. Is he going to come in though? Oh, he does come in. He nearly hits the back of Kanata. Both the Lexus drivers come in, and here comes Meat as well. So it is Porsche 1-2 again. Tommy's going to come through. He's on the medium tyres. He is on the one stop, so he's going to go straight up into 3rd position. Danger's going to go up into 4th, so the one stop is looking good for these guys. With 5 laps to go, it's going to be a race to the end. Softs versus mediums. I don't think the Porsches are going to be touched. So, Kanata and Astro, way down the road. There's Tommy, there's Astro. These two Porsches could probably stop again and almost get away with it. The one stop doing very, very well for these two at the moment. Zab is the next car down the road. He's on the 2-stop with Gigi just behind, who did stop a lap earlier than the others. Jez is in 7th. So Tracy's just behind in 8th position. Excuse me. Yuri's come out in 9th position. We then got Tom in 10th, Radiate in 11th, who's just his teammate just behind. Weapons in 12th, he's stopped, he's gone back to the soft tyres, so he's done a soft, medium, soft. BT's in 13th, Darlington in 14th, being chased down by D-Dubs in 15th. Darlington is on some used mediums though, so I'm expecting D-Dubs to make efficient work soon-ish. We're going to jump on board when Meat. So Tracy to the right, Meat to the left. What can Meat do? What can Sir Tracy do as we kind of come into the hairpin? Meat goes deep on the entry, shallow on the exit. Sir Tracy doesn't get the exit that they're quite after, as Meat gets a very good run as we come up the hill. As Meat has gone purple through the second sector. Throws it into the right-hander. Through goes Meat. Down goes Sir Tracy. So Tracy down into 9th position. So Tracy scrapes the wall a little bit on the exit. This is going to be great stuff for me. Jez is just ahead. 56.8 from me. It's a great lap. The fastest lap of the race so far. Jez has done a 59.2. So the AMG is starting to wake up and actually feel like a car for him. Jezza goes to the left. I don't think he's going to fight this. He's smart enough. He's been racing here at ALR long enough to know when to fight and when to not fight. And this is one of those times when not fighting is probably going to be a lot faster for him. He's going to be nice and smooth. Oh, doesn't expect Sir Tracy to follow though. So Tracy goes through. Makes a tiny little bit of a bump on the way through. Jez down to 9th position. Loses a couple of places at the moment, but still doing well, still doing solid. Trying to nurse and take care of these tyres, make sure these tyres get to the end, which I think for him is going to be critical, because he doesn't have to stop again. Let's go a bit further forward. GG in 6th at the moment, Zab's in 5th, Danger's in 4th. As we've got a few laps left to go. The one-stop runners doing very well. They're not really catching the two Porsches, but it doesn't matter. If the Porsche's tyres drop off, it doesn't matter. I mean, too much. Because there's the black Porsche of Astro. He's just exiting this twisty section as Tommy's just entering it. So they've got an entire section of corners spare, and a Kanata is slowly pulling away from his teammate. 59.9 from Astro and a 58.2 from Kanata. So Astro's starting to struggle a little bit. Tommy's had an impact with the wall in the final corner. Here comes Danger Mouse as Danger Mouse goes through, gets 3rd position. Tommy's dropped down to 4th. These two have got to be careful. They can't fight too much though, because if they fight too much, they're going to pull the two stoppers of Zab and Gigi just behind into contention. I think these two have to work together now for the next lap or so, just to pull themselves away just a little bit. Tommy's giving Danger a big push. Oh, Danger gets a little bit of a push from Tommy. Tommy's going to back out of it, not going to get involved too much. He's got to be very careful because he's got a soft runner of Zab just behind him. This is what I mean. These two cannot fight now too much. They've got to try and pull away from this group, or at least try and burn off the tyres of the two people behind them. These guys have to play this smart. So here you go. Danger Mouse coming out the tunnel, Astro going into the hairpin. That's how much of a lead these Porsches have, and that's how much work these guys have done over 19 laps. It's a fantastic job done by these two at the moment. We're going to go back through the field. Jezza under some pressure now from Tom. Jezza's tyres are not looking good. Tom's tyres are looking a lot better. Jezza going to really struggle now over this next lap or so. They're probably going to be dead, I reckon, by next lap.
Strategy Masterclass by Kanata FR.
Kanata confirmed tier 2 then. So, Weapons in 11th, Radiates in 12th, being very closely followed by BT, who's in 13th. D-Dubs has gotten past Darlington ages ago, up into 14th, starting to close in a little bit on 13th, but I think it's going to be a little too late. Darlington at the back, struggled a bit in the first stint, struggling to get down beneath the 2-minute mark as well, from the looks of it as well. Now, let's go back on board with Tommy. He makes contact with that final wall again. So, danger on his own at the moment in that Jag. Tommy's going to start getting swamped if he's not careful. We're going to go on Gigi's point perspective. Zab on the left, Tommy on the right. Simple move up the inside from Zab. These soft tyres are just a bit too much quicker than Tommy's mediums at the moment. Tommy's mediums are the same sort of like tyre life as Gigi's. Zab's going to get a bit of a push from Tommy as well. This is the penultimate lap, so the time for working together is very, very quickly coming to the end. Zab goes very, very... Oh my god. What was that? Okay, aside from the push to pass on Tommy, that was the most stylish overtake I have seen in a very long time. Effectively drifting his way up the inside, squeezes Zab out. Zab and Gigi have contact. Here comes Tommy. Tommy's going to try and get through, but there's literally no way through because these two are blocking the only 2 lanes of travel. As Tommy's day is now getting a little bit worse as he's slowly falling down the back of this pack. He's in 6th position at the moment. His 2 rivals are in 1st and 2nd, so Tommy's not going to score that much in this feature race. If it was to end right now, he's got another lap to try something different. The tyres of the 2 cars just ahead are starting to degrade though. It's going to start turning in Tommy's direction quite quickly. If these 2 start to fight as well, as Tommy had a clean and good exit, that would have been him alongside Zab. Gigi goes up into 4th. Zab now down into 5th. These 2 are going to start having a little scrap again. Tommy's going to stay very, very local to this. He's got to be careful though. And also he's got his teammate just behind on a set of softs too. He's slowly closing in. Jez has come in. He's put a new set of soft tyres on. They just could not last anymore. Nope, they were dead. Unlucky, Jez just couldn't get the tyres to last. So Kanata's on his last lap of this race. He's got an absolute monster gap to Astro just behind. These 2 have got the same amount of tyre wear. It doesn't really matter too much. These guys have got tons of gap. They can take it a little bit easy this lap. Danger's in 3rd and a very, very lonely 3rd at the moment. Great job done by him so far, but we're not at the end of this race yet. We're going to stay going. Sorry, I thought Zab slowed down then. I had the illusion of Zab slowing down a little bit. So Zab's back ahead of Gigi. Gigi's trying to use the same move that they did last time. That's not going to work. Tommy's gone very, very tight on those corners and collected the wall. Through goes his teammate. Meat has gotten past his teammate. The championship contender, so he's now down into 7th position. after making contact with the wall. So through goes Meat. Meat's now going to try and chase down these two. Gigi's front left tyre is not looking good and healthy. Zap gets away. Gigi's really struggling, lost a lot of momentum. Through goes Meat as well. Can Tommy get through? I don't think Tommy's going to be able to get through. Although he's very much in the slipstream. He's got a good run. He's got a very, very good run. Is he going to fire it up the inside at the last corner? He is going to fire it up the inside. He's got to. Gigi goes a little bit deep. Tommy goes up the inside. Does get through. Does get past. Gigi's tyres are gone. But we're going to go forward to, as Astro just put it, a masterclass of strategy here at Tokyo. He's got that absolutely nailed to perfection. Doesn't matter that the front left tyre is a little bit dead on this last lap. He's done it. He's going to come across and take victory here at the feature race. His teammate, can he hold on second position? Danger's caught right up to the back of him. No, Danger's going to get second position. Astro's going to fall down to third. So Danger gets second position. Astro gets third. Zab's going to get fourth. Tommy's going to get fifth. Meat's going to let him through. Did Meat let him through? I think Meat did let him through for championship points. Yeah, he did. He let him through for championship points. So Meat's going to drop down into sixth. Tommy gets fifth. Meat gets sixth. Sir Tracy's going to get seventh. Great race from Sir Tracy. Tom gets eighth, serving his qualifying ban. Weapons in ninth. BT's in 10th. Radiates in 11th. D-Dubs is in 12th. And oh no!
I didn't fuel save enough needed. That extra lap on the mediums.
Fair enough. And Gigi runs out of fuel by the S section as well. So Gigi's race was doing so well. He would have finished in about 7th position. He didn't fuel save enough either. He was going absolute hell for leather the entire time. So D-Dubs is going to get 12th. Jez is going to get 13th. Great. Considering he was last, he did a great final lap. Gigi's going to get 14th. Ran out of fuel. And then Darlington's going to... I think Darlington gave him a push. Darlington did give him a push. He gave him a very big, hefty push as well. So Darlington, being the team player, being the gentleman, gives Gigi the push over the line, and Darlington rounds off 15th. So, there we have it. There's Tokyo. My apologies for taking so long to come back and do this. It's been a stressful couple of weeks at work. And a lot has happened. A lot has happened. But that doesn't matter. We are all sorted now. Let me find the standings. Screw it. This will do. No, it won't do. Where are they?
NWS man, it can be worse.
Yeah, it could be. It's probably going to be, but that doesn't matter. Where are we? Where are we? Where are the standings? There we are. There's too many tier blues, tier 4 blues, tier 4s. So, you know, I'll come to the standings later. I'll come to it another time. So there we have it. There's Tokyo. What time is it? I might. I don't think I'm going to get time to do a top of this, but I will do a top of this. Try and do it this evening. If not, the double will happen tomorrow when I've got some more time. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, all that good stuff. As Ross said in the tier 3 stream earlier, we have got plenty going on in this off-season stuff, which I'll cover a little bit more on the next stream. But yeah, take care everybody, and I'll see you all soon.